All right. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving out praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakodash. Second, I want to give double honor to the apostles, the GMS, the Ulufuel, and the peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. That consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and West Indians. This is Shukwa Karab from GMS, Virginia. Coming back at you again. Lord's will you be edified. And I'm going to start off by saying, if you're still thinking that you're going to become an entertainer, a rapper, R&B singer, or such and such, you're pretty much bugged the hell out. And you really don't understand the dark side of things. And you don't understand how the so-called white man has it to string you Jake out, take your talent from you, take your will, your ambition, your enthusiasm, your hope, and your talent, and string you along. And then once you are done, he's done with you. He pretty much toss you away. There's a scripture on that. I believe it's Sirach 12 and the 12th chapter. Talks about never trust thine enemy. Once he's done with you, he acts as if he's your friend. And that's what all these Edomites and fake Jewish people do that run the higher up, that pretty much owns and run everything and manage you Negroes, Latinos, and you Hispanics and West Indians. And what they do is, knowing that you come from poverty, knowing that you come from from a oppressed state, and knowing that some of you have somewhat good intentions, maybe. And some of y'all are just outright wicked and demonic, and you pretty much been bamboozled, and you grew up with a lot of envy and hatred, and you want to really pretty much just get back at your people. So you're willing to do whatever it takes and really please the so-called white man, and which you give up anything. And what you do is you get back at Jake, because a lot of people have pretty much, due to the fact of our upbringings and our hatred towards each other, we pretty much have warred with each other. And a lot of Jakes, what they do is, once they get the opportunity, they pretty much try to shit on their own people, but not realizing it cost you a lot more than your evil ambition and evil intent to shit on your own people. It's going to cost you more than that. So, I would check this channel out. J Marvelous. You have Truth Is. And again, you have the prophets out there on the highways and the byways. And you have a lot of these channels that's pretty much, and I'm going to scroll through it. And, it's just a abundance of videos, and which brings forth the satanic, left-handed, demonic, dark side of the industry. And you wonder why, ever since the civil rights movement, with we all understand that was witchcraft and sorcery on the left hand as well, to bring you niggas pretty much on how you say it, to pretty much make our people believe that the so-called white man was giving up his power, and he was going to be fair and equal and allow so-called blacks to get justice from slavery. But he fell for the trick. And from the civil rights on, even to this day, it's been hell. It has been no equality. It has been no remorse. It has been pain, agony, poverty, oppression, and a bunch of legislations and snares and traps set for our people. R&B, rap music, etc. has been tools to harvest wickedness amongst our people. And you wonder why Jake is messed up? You wonder why Jake is destroyed? You wonder why women are destroyed? Well, you need to go back to the so-called white man and look at the snares and the traps. And look at the legislations. Look what he put in your face. Because ever since, our people pretty much stopped looking at the so-called white man as an enemy, the so-called white man has been using a plot that he's coming for your aid. He's coming to help you. He's coming to save you. He's coming to give you another chance. He's coming to, show you a better way. He's coming to you as your friend. But this man is using you. Once he's done with you, he tosses you away. And he goes to the next willing nigga. And there's many of them. So, again, if you want to check this channel out, I advise you that you should. Because Jay Marvelous, he goes into a lot of wickedness amongst the industry. And I even know a lot of so-called, I don't know a lot, but meaning I've known people who have done music and they have told me certain things and, why certain things is this. I've actually been around a talent myself. And I used to always wonder, like, damn, I thought it was about raw talent, but it's not about raw talent. It's about who's willing to sell themselves to the so-called white man to push those satanic philosophies. So I got this up here, Bible verses. So it says, I'm going to first bring Yep, 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant. And if you're vigilant, that means you'll be on guard. You'll be, you won't get caught off guard. The majority of our people get caught off guard because what? They're not vigilant, and they believe when the so-called white man comes around, oh, this is the opportunity. He's white. He's our hero. He's our master. He's coming to save our day. Because so-called black people, all we've been doing to each other is tearing each other apart, which is true. But the thing about it, why do so-called blacks and Latinos and Hispanics tear each other apart? Well, you've been pretty much programmed to do so by the so-called white man. You've been divided, you've been separated by many philosophies. So it says, your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And, the so-called white man comes to you, our people, in the form of help, and, in the form of a friendship, a partnership, and, truth, and, you shake hands, and you put your name on a contract, but you don't understand how business is ran. Jake has been getting chewed up, spit out for decades now in this industry. That's why I find it very funny. These Jakes are constantly, you see these Jakes constantly coming out. Pretty much, meaning, you see these new rap faces and you see new so-called, women coming forth, Glorilla, etc. But when you really look at it, you know why. You see why and you see how. Because even your modern your what is it? Your local radio station. Why isn't the radio station? Because I remember back in the day, you would drop a tape, and you would try to take the tape to your local radio station so you can get airwave and buzz. And that was the thing back in the day. But then all of a sudden, all the what is it, the radio stations, they're playing whatever that's hot. But that's pretty much the message, which was pretty much told to all the radio hosts. You push. We done found us a little nigga, a good nigga, and he's doing what we telling him to do. So you push his music all through the airwaves. So yep. So 1 John 3:8. Let me see if I can. So I'm gonna start at 7, verse 1. 1 John 3:7. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteousness, even as he is righteous. He that committeth sin is of the devil. What is sin? Well, you have 1,613 laws, statutes, commandments. And one thing that is pushed amongst our people is everything that has to do with our power, Yahweh Shah, his laws and commandments. And of his laws, statutes, commandments, we've been taught to break every last one of them. And that's been pushed ever since pretty much slavery. Esau has us in his possession. So it says, for the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose, the Son of the Most High Power, Yahweh, was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil. And ultimately, this will continue on, and it won't stop until Yahweh Shah comes back and redeem his people and stop and cut down these Edomites. Because if you know about the story of Cain, Cain pretty much went against the Heavenly Father, and he came back out from that mark by Esau. And again, Esau had the same characteristics. And even to this day, we know that the so-called man is from the nation of Edom. And what he does is he comes to pretty much eradicate all the law, statutes, and commandments, and ultimately teach our people to do so. Because one thing for certain, Esau knows about that birthright that he sold. So it says, for this purpose, so whoever is born of the Most High Yahweh do not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin. Yeah, but ultimately, we understand that 2/3 of our people has been seduced by the serpent. So Salaki. So I'm gonna continue on. And this, the children of the Most High Yahweh are manifest, and the children of the devil. Yeah. So you see the elect, and you see the 2/3, and majority of our people, which are the 2/3, and is going to be more that perish than be saved. They're continuing tuning in and continue on plugging into this man's system, not realizing his severe consequences. And once you sign your name on that in that contract or whatever, Esau have you partake in, go into those rooms, and do who knows what. Everything that Esau wants of you and require of thee is a sacrifice. Same thing with Yahweh Shah. Everything you do in this world is going to require a sacrifice. But if you want the riches of the so-called white man and your executive who control you and who is your Lord, well, he's going to require a sacrifice. So it says, in this that whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of Yahweh, Bashem Mashah, neither he that loveth not his brother. So one thing for certain, if you love your people, you so-called claiming you love your brother, well, you're gonna preach to your people this truth, and you're not gonna take. You can read the account of this. What is it? The first or second book of Maccabees with I think Mattathias. I forgot the man that stood up that they wanted to pretty much eat pork in front of the congregation to pretty much weaken the people. But he thought about his righteousness. He thought about his integrity. He thought about Yahweh Shem Shah. He thought about his neighbors. He thought about his brothers. He thought about his people. But majority of our people, they don't think about their people. They just think about themselves. You know, one thing for certain, Esau pushes all sorts of wickedness and, you know, selfishness and greed and single-eyedness, and because he wants to pretty much, what's that word? Isolate you from everybody and from ultimately your people, so he can pretty much have that control over you. For this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. But one thing Esau pushes is, once you sacrifice and you sign your name on that paper, Esau has another agenda for you, and that's to do what? Cause harm, grief, pain, and push wickedness on your people. So it says, 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And that's what Esau does. The so-called white man does. He comes to you in the form of light. You know, as if he's going to come to you and help you, and he's going to give you, show you a better way, because all you niggas in the ghetto and the slums in the projects do is kill each other, destroy yourselves. So here I am, boy. I come here to help you. You know, I come here to give you a contract that, you know, I'm gonna take everything from you. You won't own anything. You know, all your hard work, your material, your raw talent, your loss of sleep that you seek, that you're trying to obtain because you want riches. Well, you won't see any damn thing. But one thing Esau will do, he will give you women. He will give you those drugs. He will allow you to see the nice things that he owns. But then as soon as you go against the grain, you go against the oath, and you start saying bad things about your master, that's when he will punish you. A lot of times, a lot of Jake don't make it, because one thing for certain things that Esau require of you to do is so ironic that, you know, you just pretty much keep your mouth shut. So it says, John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. So if our people who continue to sell out and pretty much make that pact with the devil, Esau, well, you know, that pretty much shows your fate. You know, when the so-called white man get taken out, you will be taken out with him. So it says, because there is no truth for him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Yeah, so-called white man is a liar. You know, he comes to you in a form of light, and he comes to you in a form of, you know, you're going to get rich, and, you know, you're going to walk away wealthy. Show me any so-called rap entertainer, black movie entertainer, etc., Latino, Hispanic, that has walked away filthy rich or with ownership. I'll wait. So it says, John 10:10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. You know, going back to Sirach 12, once he's done with you, and once he pretty much sees you your talent seeping away, and you don't got it no more, because what? One thing for sure, what Esau does is he pretty much, he knows that certain Jakes have a time span before he starts breaking, you know, before he starts losing it, before he starts pretty much, you know, he can't take it no more. He can't keep up with the sacrifices, the nasty rooms, the blood, the babies, and etc. So he knows when that time is coming, he already, you know, he might fuck around and you know, he might wind up somewhere dead, disappeared, you know, these people just disappear and you don't see them no more. So let me see. 2 Corinthians 11:3. But I fear lest by any means has the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Yahweh Shah. So ultimately, just like Eve was beguiled by the serpent, one thing for certain was going on, since a majority of the men and the women of our nation have been groomed up by single mothers. Your mother has pretty much walked you right into the devil's playground and has not really taught you how not to fall for his tricks or his wiles, because ultimately the single mother of yours, she fell for it, and she doesn't even know she's being seduced. So all she does is, she rears you in these projects, these bad areas, or she rears you up in a middle class area where no father is around, but you still, even though you're in a good area, it's still a lot of things that you're not getting, far as a male child and a woman child that needs from a father or a structure, especially in these times. Let me see. Yeah, Revelation 12:9. And a great dragon was cast out, and that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. Yep, because we ultimately know when Esau came into power, he took peace from the earth. Starting with the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire fell, and ultimately this is the rebirth of the Roman Empire. And when you go into the Greek and Roman Empire, they were anti against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Very demonic. And here it is, America, Babylon the Great. Everything you see in front of us is just demonic. So it says, Ephesians 6:12, I'm going to wrap it up in a few. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Since our people are so low and their vibration is low, they don't really understand or see what's really going on. Because you pretty much been hit hard by the grievances and the hardness and the oppression and the poverty. So, you're just trying to survive, and, you're trying to make it and make ends meet. But the whole time, Esau is making things even harder. So it says, 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the power of this world, which is the power of this world, Esau, have blinded the minds of them which believe not. And we understand, a lot of our people have, ultimately, through Christianity and different religions, ideologies, philosophies, and plus ultimately, our people grew up not knowing anything about themselves, so they're lost. But ultimately, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shad, pretty much ain't sup with them or part them, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. So ultimately, a majority of our people, so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, West Indians, you've been, how you say it, you've been pretty much, how you say it, I'm gonna just continue on. In whom the power of this world have blinded. Yeah, you've been able. So the so-called white man has been able to blind you and set up traps for you, and you fall right for them. The minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shah, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. And it pretty much, Esau has a hold on you that you don't see it. So it says, so, and I'm ended with this 1 John 5:19, and we know that we are of Yahweh Bashim Shah, the prophets, the hopeful elect, And the whole world lieth in wickedness. So, if you don't have this truth, this light, this gospel, and you're not trying to obtain it, not obtain it, but you're not in the loop, in the midst of it, you're not trying to, sacrifice any time for it or take this truth serious, well, you know what's in store for you. Because we know anything outside of Yahweh Shah, well, it's evil, corruption, like the scripture says. The love of this world, the things of this world is of the flesh. Murder, rape, envy, etc., greed. And that's all of this world. And when you go into everything you turn on TV, that's all it pushes. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Lord's will, you was edified with that and say shalom.